The city of Dublin is nothing if not creative and dramatic. You can't help but fall for this vibrant, fun city of contrasts. The museums, history, culture, architecture, and even the food in Dublin are educational, emotional, and completely dramatic. One of my favorite experiences in Dublin was Epic, the Irish Emigration Museum. It's a newer museum. It combines technology with history and brings it to life in an artistic, creative fashion that will make you question why more museums are not employing this same technique. Dublin is such a city of contrasts. Horse-drawn carriages, outside internet cafes.
So our story really begins in 1776.
The Little Museum of Dublin is a charming small museum on St. Stephen's Green. It's full of amazing treasures donated by Dubliners. The Little Museum charts the cultural history of the city in the 20th century. Dublin's street art, talking statues, and graffiti are a wild blend of old and new. Look for talking statues throughout the city. There are several. And when you use your smartphone to take a picture of the QR code underneath the talking statue, you'll activate a mechanism whereby that famous historical figure from Dublin's history will call you. It's amazing to witness. There's a quirky literary pub crawl that you must not miss when you're in Dublin. It meets upstairs at the Duke Pub on Duke Street. You need to buy your tickets online and be sure to attend one of the nights when they're hosting this. They'll take you around the city and they'll act out certain literary plays and scenes from Dublin's history. Do me a favor when you're in Dublin, visit Lazy Bike Tours and book an eco-friendly bike tour of the city. It's a great way to see several historical spots and to learn more about the city.
This is the Proclamation of Independence. They wanted a free country for every man, woman and child. Okay, these are the main signatories of the Easter, of the guys that were the leaders of the Easter Rising. Okay, the plan was over Easter week was to take over Dublin. And what they did was they took over key buildings around the city centre. They were going to shut the city down and basically stop the British Army from getting reinforcements into the city. Unfortunately, this didn't work for them because what they basically did was they allowed themselves to be surrounded. So after a week, they all had to surrender. Also, there was only about 3,000 people involved, and there wasn't a huge amount of public support. It's what happened afterwards that gave us a huge amount of public support and actually led us to get our independence in 1922. But it's a very, very important thing in Irish history. Okay, I'm going to tell you.
If you're a theatre lover, you might want to time your visit to coincide with the Dublin Theatre Festival.
Guinness up and down the country. They had barges on the River Liffey for exporting Guinness down to Dublin Bay, and they also had boats on the Irish Sea for exporting Guinness to drink. These were all run by our own staff and all owned by the same family. A lot of the guys that did those kind of jobs would have lived around here. Okay, if you did move up the ladder in Guinnesses, you did get moved into a bigger home, and they would move you to the far side of the factory area, Dublin Hallway also, and you might get a kind of a 3-room house or a 3-bedroom house with a small garden and stuff like that as well.
Read up on Georgian architecture or learn about it on the go while you're here. Marsh's library is virtually unchanged for the last 3 centuries. This perfectly preserved library of the early Enlightenment, with original oak bookcases, houses more than 25,000 rare, fascinating books. The books at Marsh's are so rare and valuable that if you wish to read them while you're there, you'll need to be locked into a special room and monitored. Dublin City Gallery, the Hugh Lane, houses both modern and contemporary art, where you can enjoy world-renowned exhibitions such as Francis Bacon and Harry Clark windows. Smock Alley Theatre offers full tours of its buildings during its own in-house productions. The tours trace the history of Smock Alley to its construction as the Theatre Royal in 1662. Take the time to walk around Dublin and experience the many beautiful bridges. Don't forget to look up, though, because you don't want to miss any of the magnificent architectural features.
In this country, you need a lot of faith to do that. When the sun set here, it was believed it went to another world, the underworld. Night here was day there. All the gods, deities, ancestors of the dead, and all the Australians lived there. It was a pretty good place to live too. Nobody got old, nobody got sick. It was their version of heaven. So if things were going well in your life, it meant they must be happy with you. If things were going badly, like with a crop failure, it meant you must have done something to upset them. But at least you gave a name to the problem, and now you could take action to prevent bad things happening next year. Modify your behaviour, make offerings, do what they would approve of, and then hopefully next year things will be a little bit better. It gave people some sense of having some control. Now, it probably didn't, but the point is, the mind needs a sense of control in a world of chaos. And this other world, this fairy world, existed in all ancient folk societies across Europe.
Dublinia is a quirky, family-friendly museum in Dublin. You can meet the Vikings face to face here. What child wouldn't love that?
This is their encampment. The wooden fence is called a palisade. So, as you can imagine, this over here is the tent. It's obviously a bed that all of us sleeping in at the moment. they would have had their fire. And they also, it was written in the annals that the monks wrote in their annals, the heathens are staying in Dublin. In other words, they're not going home. And this is why they built this like encampment here for them to stay.
The food scene in Dublin will shock you in the best possible way. Who knew that Ireland, and in particular Dublin, was such a foodie destination? The fresh food movement in Dublin is as creative as the city itself. Fresh ingredients straight from the farm or the sea onto your plate is magic. There's so much to do, see, eat, and learn in Dublin. This needs to be a city at the top of your bucket list.